feels way too official. Okay. All right, let's talk about it. It's been 3 months since I started tea. The 25th, which was yesterday, marks exactly 3 months. 3 months have been completed. We're here. We out here. We're really doing the thing. I didn't really have any updates for like 2 months because between 1 and 2 months, not a whole lot changes. Between 1 and 3 months, things start to really shift. So it's really exciting because now I'm starting to find things that are like visibly, audibly changing. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about things that I've noticed between 1 month on tea and 3 months on tea. I think the biggest thing right now that I'm noticing is my voice. I don't know if it sounds different. I can barely tell. It feels deeper, like it has a different tone to it when I'm speaking, but mostly it's other people in my life telling me that my voice is different. I have to like relearn how to speak because what's happening scientifically, your vocal cords thicken, but because you were not born male, it's a smaller space, so your vocal cords thicken in a smaller space, so you like feel it. It feels like there's like something stuck in your throat. It feels like a little bit like a scratchiness, is the best way I can describe it. It also is kind of like a little bit of a like pain, but not quite pain in the sense of like ouch, but like pain in the sense of like there's something different. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm sort of just rambling. It feels different. My throat feels different. So I know that my voice is changing, and I can't hit the higher tones that I was able to hit before. That's gone. That's inaccessible. I can gain it back if I try, but I have a lower voice, and I'm like relearning to speak around that. So like my voice has to come from like my chest, like the back of my throat and my chest, in order to come out comfortably, in order for me to speak comfortably. If I wanted to, I can speak through my head voice, but like it's a little harder to move things up here. When I'm up here, it's a little harder for me to speak, so I have to kind of speak from here. But you can train to get that back if you're a singer, if you have a need to be that high or a desire to be that high, you can, but for the most part, it's not something I want. I'm not a singer. Vocal dysphoria was like a big part of my dysphoria. So that's not something I'm trying to achieve. Another change that I've noticed, but is maybe also partially my doing, I hired a personal trainer, because I wanted like to guide, like you get fat redistribution. Let me go back. On testosterone, you get fat redistribution, which means that new fat that you gains in different places. So you tend to not gain it on like your hips as much. You tend to not gain it in your chest as much. You start to slim out a little bit, and be less like this and more like this, if that makes any sense. Something a lot of people will do is fat cycling. They'll lose and regain like the same 5 to 8 pounds in order to take off weight or take off fat from places that are more like feminine, that you gained in the past, and then regain back that fat in places that are more like masculine, or vice versa. So I hired a personal trainer because I wanted to gain more muscle, and I also wanted to do some fat cycling. And so far it's been really, really like effective. I feel stronger, I feel more solid, I'm gaining muscle. I would show you, but this is hard to tie. But I'm gaining some like ab definition. So I overall am like filling out a more masculine figure, which is really so good for my peace of mind. That was one of the big things that gave me dysphoria, was like fat on my body and where it was being gained, because I had a really like, you know, snatched figure. Not to brag or anything, body T. I would gain fat in a really like feminine way. I just was so against gaining anything or like having any fat on my body, because it did gain in those like more feminine places, and it made me feel like I needed to crawl out of my skin. So I changed my diet recently, which is why I have this little guy here. This is a protein shake. I had not been putting basically any protein in my diet, and I hadn't been gaining muscle as an effect, and I'm on like kind of a diet. My diet is I can eat whatever I want, but I need to eat more balanced. And then I'm also on like a fitness plan, so I'm on like a workout plan, and I've been doing that for like 3 weeks, and then prior to that for like 3 or 4 or 5-ish weeks, little around a month, I was working out, and I wasn't really like targeting any specific areas, but I was like trying to get a little more built. Hi, girl. Look, you're on camera. You're on camera. Come here. You're on camera. She's a bit of a diva. We love her, but she's like a little bit of a diva. Hey, I know. I know you. You're like 10 years old. I know what you're like. Can you not do that? Alright. I don't know what she's trying to do right now. Do you want on here, or do you want my attention? A little bit of both. Yeah, okay. We might just have to do the video like this, which I hope no one's actually opposed to. You know, just a little bit of tail in my mouth. But yeah, fat redistribution has been treating me well. I'm gaining muscle. It's easier to gain muscle when you're on testosterone. I think those are like the big things that I've noticed. It's really just, it's gone from like internal changes, like mental changes, to like physical changes. Like before, it was a lot of mood, it was a lot of energy, it was a lot of you know, just things that were internal that you couldn't really see. But I think at 3 months is where I'm starting to notice physical changes. So like voice, muscle, fat, which has been really cool. It's been really cool to see things change. It's really cool to wake up in the morning and like go to wake up in the morning and like go into the bathroom and like see, like recognize the person that you see. I went in yesterday to do my like check-in, like my 3-month check-in, and they approved me to like up my dose. I'm doing injections, so I was doing like 0.2 of the syringe, the little 0.2 notch, and they put me up to 0.3, which is like maybe like that much a week versus like this much a week. Like, you know, injections are fine. I think if my dose goes up again, I'm gonna want to switch to subcutaneous, which is like a smaller needle. You inject it into your fat instead of your muscle, which is not as deep. At 0.2, it's hard to notice like any pressure or any like anything going into your body, but I think at 0.3 I'm starting to notice like there's pressure in my leg, and like you already have to overcome like the mental hurdle of like doing a self-administered injection, and that pressure does freak me out a little bit. I think if I did any higher than 0.3, I'd want to switch to sub-Q. But right now I'm doing IM. It's fine. If you're afraid of needles, then it's not the one for you, because you are confronted with the needle, and aware of it. It doesn't hurt, but you are aware of it. I'll be sticking with that for at least 3 months. I think where I'm at right now, I want to see where I'm at by like summer. and like how I'm feeling about it in summer. My next appointment, my next like hormone check-in, where my dose might be adjusted, that will be literally like a couple days before my birthday. So I'm excited for that. And I'm excited to check my labs because I got my labs uploaded. So I can actually see my testosterone levels now. I hate blood tests. I have a little mark in my arm now. It's just so much blood. But they did a blood test so I can see all the levels of everything. I'm feeling good. Dysphoria, like not having as much dysphoria, and that is making my mood so much better because I'm not constantly on edge. And I'm just like feeling good. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like check in 3 months. I really enjoy making these videos, especially because I can look back at them and I can see how things have changed and shifted, and like how I carry myself and all of that business. That's really fun for me. It's really exciting to like finally be able to be the person that I've seen in my head since I was like very young. Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm having a good time. You are such a diva. She like, anytime I'm talking, she just thinks we're spending time together, which is really sweet. But that also means anytime I'm on the phone, she's like right here. Okay, bye.